Just set an appointment with Aloysia. All right. All right, thank you everybody. How you guys are doing? I jumped on live while I was in the middle of a call. If you guys are ready to know which credit union that you should get started with, depending on your score, this is the time to get started. Guys, if you're ready to get started, I need you to drop your score in the comments so that we can help you match yourself with the credit union. So just to let you know, we just dropped a video on Sunday about Blue Peak Credit Union. I don't know if you guys caught that one. If you have not, I want you guys to check that one out. Go check out Blue Peak Credit Union, and that's spelled BLUPAK Credit Union. It's a great credit union where anyone can join. So absolutely anyone can join, and you can actually become a part of Blue Peak Credit Union. They have a membership with the KPBS. KPBS is a broadcasting system. So they have a membership with a broadcasting system that they pay for. So imagine a credit union is going to give you a free membership. So if you're ready for a free membership with the credit union, guys, make sure you check out Blue Peak Credit Union. Now, I'm going to give you a sneak preview. If you guys want to become a member of our YouTube channel, I got a video coming out where the members get the videos early. Normally you get them anywhere between a few hours or a whole day in advance. Depends on how busy we are during the week. But if you become a member of our YouTube channel, you can get videos before we release them to the public, which means you can probably get your application in first and you can actually get going. So if you guys are about learning about Blue Peak Union, we got another video coming out with the United States Senate Federal Credit Union. I hope you guys heard that. It's a lot to say. United States Senate Federal Credit Union. Yeah, got it out. So with that one, I was really, really amazed at the limits. Glory, remember we did a video last December. And with that video, yeah, with that credit union, it's like you freezing up just a little bit. But with that credit union, we were able to find out that number one, they pull two, they have, and they also have $70,000 lines of credit and loans. I don't know if you guys caught that, but they matched some of the offers and exceeded some of the offers that Navy Federal has. So we always tell people it's a lot of credit unions out here that may be better than Navy Federal. Definitely they're easier to join. Navy Federal, you always got to have some kind of military connection, something going on, and it makes it a little harder to get approved. With some of the credit unions we discuss on our channel, you're able to join these credit unions without actually being in the military, which makes life a lot easier. So if you guys are excited about joining a credit union where you don't have to be a member of the military, you don't have to live in a certain place, you don't have to work in a certain place, you're gonna love Blue Peak Credit Union, the United States Federal Credit Union. So if you can, guys, I want you guys to drop in the chat what your scores are so that I can help you guys figure out which credit union you need to be a part of. And I'll just start talking about some if that gets you guys going and gets you guys excited, because they do have credit unions out here that can really help you out and really help you get going. So I'm gonna start talking about the low credit scores. So most of the time, a lot of times it's more people with bad credit than good credit. May have been life, could have been divorce, it could have been you went through loss of job, loss of a business, and that could cause you to have to start over and get going. So what I want you guys to realize, even if you have a low credit score, you might want to get a security card. Now remember, security cards are not forever. They're just to help you rebuild. Usually, I would only say keep a security here, maybe even 6 months so that you can
so that you
really
can
jumpstart your
really
credit.
jumpstart your credit.
I can hear you
I
now,
can hear you
Glenn.
now, Glenn.
Yeah. Glory, you hear me?
Yeah. Glory, you hear me?
All right, we're trying to get Glory
All right,
audio in
trying to
there.
get Glory
But
audio in
basically,
there.
what I'm getting at, guys, you can
But I'm
end up
getting at, guys,
starting
you can end
your
up
credit
starting your
over
credit
if you use
over if you
um,
use um,
a secure card. It's
a
a great
secure card.
way
It's a
to
great
get your
way
credit
to
going,
get your credit
and
going,
you're able
and
to
you're able to
really take your credit
really
to the
take
next
your
level
credit
by
to the
using
next
your
level
secure
by
card.
using your secure card.
So, guys,
So, guys,
I just want you to
I just
realize
want you.
making sure that you have a secure card and rebuilding. You know, a lot of people don't realize with bad credit is one of those things where not only you got to rebuild, you got to remove stuff. And most people don't realize they can do both at the same time. You may have to remove stuff and you may have to rebuild. Go, are you able to get on? I hear you, but it's a lot of feedback. I can hear you, but it's a lot of feedback. Glory's having some audio issues. All right,
Audio issues. All right,
Raymond
Raymond.
says, great information. Thank you, Raymond. And Raymond, do me a favor. Drop your credit in the score. I mean, drop your score in the comments for me. Because, you know, what I'm trying to do is show people how to match their credit score with credit unions that can actually get them approved and get them going. So far, I've been talking about the low scores. You can just about go to any credit union. I like Forterra if you're starting over. It's called Forterra Credit Union. What I love about Forterra, that ends up letting you um, start your credit over if you get a secure card. So one of my favorites is Forterra Credit Union. And what I want you guys to realize is getting a secure card is not a bad thing. It is not a bad thing. It's something where you can start your credit over. Because what people don't realize is our most expensive thing is actually our time. Guys, remember, your time is the most important thing. You don't want this to cost you so much time that you miss opportunities, that you pay too much for interest. All of these things can slow you down and cause problems. You guys don't want this to happen in your life or in your business. And what I want you guys to realize is many more things that you can do to restart your credit. All right, there you go, guys. I appreciate it. Now you get those scores in there. All right. Crypto Tycoon says they have a 660 credit score. So with a 660 credit score, you got places like Service Credit Union. If you've never heard of it, you can go to Service Credit Union. Most of these credit unions I'm talking about, they have ways that you can join through a nonprofit. So I would look at Service Credit Union if you got like a 660. That's kind of a mid-tier credit union. And then if you also can kind of, you know, tell me, do you have, like I was just on the phone with a lady when I started the live. I didn't realize I clicked the button. But long story short, you know, I was explaining to her, she had a very good credit score, but she didn't have a good mix of credit. And you might say, Marvin, what is a good mix of credit means? What that means is you need installment loans, maybe a mortgage, and you definitely need multiple credit cards. Most people don't realize that having multiple credit cards can actually really help you have a good mix of credit. So, for instance, when you build credit, like I'm looking at Service Credit Union, they let you build credit with what's called a shared secured loan. So you got secure credit cards and you got a shared secured loan. Just like somebody just put in the chat, they said I got a $10,000 pledge loan, Navy business account that's 5 years old, that's all in good standings. What I would tell you is if you already got a Navy federal pledge loan, do you have a car that's paid off? Do you have a credit card that's paid off? Because if you do, then you may be wasting time with the secured loan. Sometimes we hear all this stuff on YouTube and we get confused. All of these things and products are not meant for everybody. And that's what a lot of people forget. All of this stuff is not meant for everybody. If you got a car note paid off, I wouldn't have a pledge loan. The actual car loan is gives you more points than the pledge loan. So this is why I say that's why I love doing these questions and answers, because a lot of times you got to think about it. If I got a paid off car, then why do I get a pledge loan? What you may need to do, if you got a 600 credit score, that means two things to me. Either you got some collections on your credit or you got some high utilization. With both of those, that hurts your score, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't worry about a pledge loan if I got a paid off car. Does that make sense? And like my assistant just put on the screen, if you need help with your credit, you need to check out Luxury Credit Hacks to help you remove stuff. And also, I'm gonna add, if you got over, yeah, I know you saying you got it paid off. What I'm saying is it's not helping you. I would spend money and time on writing dispute letters to remove those negative items. I wouldn't keep worrying about a pledge loan. Even though it's 90% paid off, the car loan has done all the work for you. You know, it would be you'd be better off if you got like the AI software that we got on there to help you remove the negative items. I'll concentrate on removing negative items more so than the pledge loan. Sounds great. I know it's all over the internet. Get a pledge loan, do this, do that. Sounds great. But unless you're getting a loan, which that could help a personal loan. But if your car is already paid off, I would just either go get another car or I worry about what I'm doing next. So anyway, I hope I answered that question. All right, somebody else threw a credit score up here. All right, crypto through 660. Raymond. Raymond put a 620, 630. Raymond, if I were you, I would worry about removing negative items. If you're at 620, 630, collections, inquiries. That sounds like one of the two of those things. And guys, let me say this. For everybody on here that's over 700, I want you guys to realize this. I'm going to personally invite you to a business strategy call. So if you want to get a one-on-one with myself and my team, I was on one at the start of this call. It was weird. I was ending the call and I was like, oh my God, I hit the live button by accident. So sorry about that at the beginning of the video, but I was actually on a real call. And what happens in those calls, we look at your credit report, we look at your business, and we tell you what's the best fit. Let me tell you about the call I just got off of. The young lady had a 740 credit score. Her credit score was really, really good, but she had about 5 or 6 credit cards. She only had one paid off loan. Well, no, one loan in deferment, which was a student loan. She had no cars paid off and she had no mortgage. And what I'm trying to tell you, even with a 740 credit score, that's a very limited file. And Raymond, I'm saying to get you to the 700s, you need to look at our luxury credit hacks, try to remove those negative items. I hope you got a car paid off, maybe 2 or 3 credit cards, and maybe do you have low limits? That's why your limits are maxed out. Take your time, pay your credit card balances down, get higher limits, but remove collections, medical bills, and inquiries. Because if you got a 620, then that means something is bringing your score down. Something that you're doing is bringing your score down. And don't get mad at collections and don't get mad at all this stuff, guys. I get people all the time that get upset about collections and charge-offs. It's something that happened in life. It doesn't define you as a person. Don't get mad at collections. Figure out how to pay them off. All right, next. We had Raymond, we had the crypto guy, and what I want you to realize, all of these things that are on these videos, it doesn't mean it's for your credit file. I get so many people that tell me about pledge loans. They tell me about Ava, Kickoff, all of these things. That may not mean it's for you. Like for me, the person that said that they had the pledge loan, I would have told you to get Rent Reporters, because Rent Reporters is going to go backwards and it's going to give you history. You got to think about it. Pledge loan goes from today forward. Would you rather have 2 years history or would you rather have 30 days worth of history? I would rather have 2 years of history, and you'll get that from something like Rent Reporters. So if it was me, I would do rent reporters. I wouldn't worry about always doing something to that I heard on the internet. How you doing? The only Poise Taylor. How you doing? Thank you for joining our live. I want to thank everybody for jumping on here. Guys, do me a favor and get a video a couple likes. Hit a couple likes. My guy, I know we got a few people on here, but hit the like button so we can get more people on here. And guys, do me a favor now. I want you guys to share this video. If you've been getting some insight and some value, share this with one person. All you gotta do is hit the arrow at the bottom right, share this with one person. And thank you, Poise Taylor, for jumping on here. And guys, throw some questions in the chat if you got them, whether they're credit related, credit card related, loans, or anything like that. Throw some questions over here. And I want you to realize, like we talked about Blue Peak Credit Union, which is open to anybody. We've talked about Service Credit Union. I mentioned Forterra Credit Union. There are tons of credit unions out here that you can start. So the only Poise Taylor, do me a favor, also drop what state you're from. Because sometimes, even though I talk about mostly national banks, I also like to talk about regional stuff as well. So, guys, jump in here and let's talk about it. One of my favorites is State Department Credit Union. So I would check out State Department Credit Union. I think that is a great credit union for a lot of people to join. It's open to the public. One of my other favorites, Crypto says he's out of Nevada. The only Poise is out of Florida. Okay, I'm glad you put that in there. I live in Florida. I love Suncoast Credit Union. That's one of my favorites in Florida. Suncoast Credit Union. And if you're looking for a bank, you got Synchrony, you got Citizens, you got so many banks here in Florida. You got the Valley Bank, you got the United Bank. I mean, you got the City, what is it called? The City Bank. I can't think of the name of it right now. CITY. Can't think of the name of it, but I will. And Raymond says he's in California. I love California because it's like a different world. California has so many credit unions. I think you even got the police and fire credit union in California. One of the biggest banks, biggest credit unions, in California, Golden Credit Union. Golden Credit Union in California is a huge credit union in California. Rello says he's from Nevada. You guys got a lot. The Poise Taylor, I like Suncoast Credit Union. They're giving out credit cards and personal loans as long as you have a good score. If you guys are, like I said, you can drop your credit score, drop your state. We can try and match you with some credit unions. And if you guys even just have general questions about your credit, throw it out there. Another credit union I like, PSECU. PSECU is another great credit union to join. If you guys got really high credit scores, you got PenFed Credit Union. They usually pull Equifax, and they're another great credit union. So it's PENFED, PenFed.org. That's another great credit union. If you got military, I would say one of the top two, of course, Navy Federal was first. If I would go for a close second, I would say USAA. USAA. No, Poise Taylor, PSECU is a credit union. Whenever you have credit, CU at the end, that means credit union. So when I say PSECU, the CU stands for credit union. You got First Tech Credit Union. That's another one where, let's say if you're rebuilding credit, somebody that has a low credit score, no established credit cards, you might want to go to First Tech Credit Union, start a secured card, and then actually, in about 6 months, go for an unsecured card. That's what you got to remember with secured products. Pledge loan, credit card, shared secured loan. You want to stop it at about 6 months. Transfer from secured to unsecured. Years ago, secured was looked at in a good way. Today, secured is looked at in a bad way. So you want to get off of the secured after about 6 months. You said, with what I told you, can I go? I don't know what the question is, Rello. Can you go anywhere for funding? No, not really. If you got a low credit score under 680, you can't go anywhere. So I'm gonna tell you now, you might want to be selective where you go. You said my credit is below 600. So if your credit is below 600, if you're getting a secured card, yes, you can go anywhere. So I want to make sure I'm clear with this. If you're getting a secured card, yes, go anywhere. If you're not getting a secured card and you're talking about loans, credit cards, things like that, then no, you have to actually pick if you're trying to get unsecured. So it's a big difference when it comes to secured and unsecured. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. I don't want you guys thinking something and then you get the wrong kind of results. So if I were you, I would definitely look at what do I have to do with my situation. And that's why I did this call tonight, because a lot of people really get confused when it comes to secured and unsecured. And I don't want you guys trying stuff that's unsecured. PSCU, anybody can join them. And you may have, Poise Taylor, you may have not been on the call earlier when I was talking about Service Credit Union. That's, once again, anybody. So a lot of these credit unions I'm mentioning, yes, anybody can actually join them. So I want you guys to really know that when I'm talking about certain credit unions, that yes, anybody can join. I don't want you guys thinking that it's only limited to certain states. In some instances, maybe, but in most of these instances that I'm talking about, anybody can join them. So I want you to definitely keep that in mind, that anybody can join a lot of these, and you guys can really get in there and be able to get the kind of funding that you need. And then let me say this again for everybody that showed up late. If you already have a 700 credit score and you want to really get a good sequence, you're ready to raise $150,000, $200,000. I need you guys to look in the link above, and realize that we can help you raise up to $250,000 as long as you have over a 700 credit score and you have established credit. Let me add that in there, because a lot of people get on the calls, they got 2 trade lines and they want to raise 250,000. A lot of times that's not going to happen. You're gonna have to have established credit to get up to 250,000. So keep that in mind. A lot of people jump on my calls and they like, well, you said 700, but I'm talking about a 700 with established credit. I get so many people that jump on our calls and they got one credit card for $300 in a secured loan, and they want me to get a 250,000. That's a little bit unreasonable. Okay, I just want to let you know that's a bit unreasonable. We can't make magic happen. So do me a favor. Come on, guys. Drop some stuff in the chat. I want to jump on here live to answer a lot of questions. A lot of times I get a lot of questions on the one-on-one calls, but feel safe, guys. You can ask questions on this call so that we can help you guys get approved. So the person, only Poise Taylor, you were asking about Florida. So also in Florida, you have Bright Star Credit Union. So Bright Star Credit Union is for Florida residents. You have Space Coast Credit Union. These are places that if you're looking to get a secured card, I would look at Space Coast. I would look at Bright Star. Suncoast. I gave you 3 credit unions for Florida. So that's because I live here and I know which ones are which. So how do you get around having new accounts? I mentioned this earlier, and this is for Gino. Gino, how you doing? Throw some flames in the chat, Gino. Let's get these people lit. So what I want you guys to realize, when you're starting over, you need things like rent reporters. Rent reporters is great for somebody reestablishing credit. So there's rent reporters. That's awesome for reestablishing credit. All right, I can't make this you know what up. Thanks for jumping on. You got an 826, 836. So you may have missed this. I just said it a couple minutes ago. We can help you raise probably up to 250,000 depending on how established your credit is. So if you have established credit, we can help you raise up to 250,000. I would definitely look at signing up for our free business strategy call. So I can't make it up. We're going to put the link in there. Should be right before yours. If you want to book a call and you want to raise up to 250,000 with no docs, jump on one of our calls. Jump on one of those calls. I just got off the phone with a lady. She was telling me that she's been with a company for over 6 months and they've only gotten her $6,000. I won't even really, if I can't help you and I can only get you 6,000, I'll tell you to go rebuild your credit and we'll talk later. So we get results. You know, I just dropped a video on Sunday. We got 2 testimonies in there. So we have real testimonies in our videos. Check out the last video that I dropped on Sunday. We got 2 videos. One guy is really famous. If any of you guys know Matt Barnes, the guy that has the podcast, All the Smoke, go check out my last video. Matt Barnes from All the Smoke podcast, the NBA podcast, he dropped the testimony for us. Go check it out from last Sunday. It's absolutely amazing. I've been knowing Matt for 3 years, and we're actually friends. You know, so go check it out. It's a very hot testimony for those of you who even need credit repair. Surprisingly, even though Matt Barnes has over $200 million, he needed credit repair. Just remember, we can really help you reestablish credit. We can help you get going. And I want to do what I can to help you guys reestablish your credit and really take advantage of opportunities out there. Think about it. You're actually losing money if you miss opportunities. You're paying too much in interest, number one. And why keep paying too much in interest when you could take the time to fix your credit to be able to fund your dreams? I say this all the time to people. You can fix your credit so that you can fund your dreams. You know, that's what I want you guys to realize. Action 713, what's going on? Put some flames in the chat for me, man. Throw a like on there. Do me a favor. Share this with one other person. Can y'all do me that favor? Share this with one other person. All right, Gino says, I'm saying, do I have to let new accounts age? Yes. Or can I get AUs to offset the age of accounts? You can get AUs to offset the age, but you can't really make up accounts that aren't yours except for Rent Reporters. I like Credit Strong. Credit Strong has some new products that I actually like. So I would check out Credit Strong and I would definitely do Rent Reporters. So those would be the 2, if you were gonna pay for, that I would recommend. AUs, they don't work like they used to. About 5 years ago, I would sit here and tell you AUs. But right now, AUs, they've changed the scoring model. So when you're talking about AUs, you're talking about older information. Yes, you can use it to help your age, but if an underwriter really looks at it, he can tell that you bought those trade lines. So is he really gonna count that as your age? He may not. Because what you gotta realize is sometimes a lot of these companies do what they call manual reviews. They have a human and they look at a human review. So I want you guys to know that all of the underwriting or all of the approvals that you get, it doesn't mean that they're actually done by a person. You may get some computer underwriting, then they come back with a person. I had the lady on the call just ask me, Marvin, do you know somebody at every bank? No, I would be lying to you if I told you I know somebody at every bank, but I know the guidelines. Does that make sense? I'm looking at each thing when I go to get somebody approved. Hey, this person had 5 credit cards, over 10,000. They had 2 car loans paid off. Boom, we got them approved for $40,000 loan. I know what I'm looking at. because I look at credit reports all day long. So a lot of times you don't have to know someone at the bank or have a relationship manager if you understand underwriting guidelines. If that makes sense, guys, put some flames in the chat. And that's what I want you to understand. I'm giving you underwriting guidelines. Does that make sense? And Raymond says, Wednesday works best for me. Let me say this, Raymond. If you got over a 700 credit score, this could be an important call that could be life changing for you. All right, if your score is under 700, I'm gonna tell you about my AI software. I'm gonna give you my AI software so that you can work on your credit. So Raymond, if you got it under a 700, I can tell you what we're gonna talk about. If you have over a 700, then we're gonna get to the money. Does that make sense? So Raymond, what kind of credit score do you have? Drop your credit score in the chat. And so I want you guys to realize now, if you're getting on the call and you have under a 700, the only thing that we're going to talk about is your credit and the fact that you need to work on getting your score up. It's not much to talk about. You got to remove the negative items. You got to rebuild credit at the same time. So I don't want you guys getting on the call and getting disappointed. Like Marvin, you didn't say that the other night. You told me I can get you 250,000. What I'm telling you is, if you got under a 700, we're going to talk about credit repair. If you got over a 700, we're going to talk about getting money. So make sure you guys completely understand that before you book a call, because I don't want you upset about what you signed up for. And I want you to be honest. If you got under a 700, just tell me, because I'm going to ask you to look at your credit report. You know, I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time. So make sure that your scores are over 700 before you book that call, because the only thing we're going to talk about is credit repair, rebuilding your credit. And I'm pretty much telling you guys that right now. Keep working on your credit. Let's get those scores up, because once you hit those 700s, now it gets crazy after that. That's when you can start getting 40, 50, $100,000 and keep it going. So the only boys Taylor says, I'm trying to open an account with PSECU. They ask for funding. I don't understand what that means. Are they telling you to fund your account? Is that what you're saying? I don't quite understand the question. If you're going to PSEU, are you asking me? They're asking you to fund your account? And for those of you who may not know that, yes, when you open up accounts with credit unions or banks, they want you to do business with them. They want to establish a relationship. So yes, they may ask you to fund your account. So if you watch my videos, if you haven't watched my videos, you may need to watch my videos, because I talk about relationship. And if you guys have not established a relationship, I'm going to tell you right now, the bank is going to want you to establish a relationship. So I don't want you guys to be fooled by anything or realize that, oh, why do they want money from me? They want to do business. And the way that you do business with banks, you set up a checking account, you set up a savings account in some cases, and you set up a direct deposit. You got to let them know that you want a relationship. So I don't want anybody confused, or you don't understand something. Banks want a relationship. So keep all of that in mind if you're ready to go. They say an option is external account, debit card, and credit card. Well, that goes back to your score. I can't remember your score, but if you got a lower credit score, then you want a debit card, because you're trying to build a relationship. If you got a good credit score, then you can go for the credit card. Make sense? So I don't want you, thinking it's something that is not. So I'm getting ready to make me some dinner, guys. So I got to get this going. But I want you guys to really be realistic about what you're doing and understand that banks want to do business. So keep all of that in mind. I don't want you fooled thinking that, oh, I just start this relationship and they're going to give me some money. So there you go. Got it? Sounds like you got it. So next, like I said, for the people over 700 who are really ready to get to it, guys, let's go. And for the 568, Poise Taylor, Click that link because you want to get into my AI program so that you can remove some of those negative items. Does that make sense? You want to get that luxury credit hacks. It's only $39.95. It's going to help you write your letters in 15 minutes so you can get those scores up. All right, thank you. Thank you. And Boy Taylor, go to my videos. I got some videos. I got videos that actually explain how to use the software. So I don't want you to feel like I'm just throwing you to the software. If you go to my YouTube channel, put in credit repair, you're gonna get some videos that actually walk you through the software. Everybody that has tried it, it takes them no more than about 15 minutes to write the letters. So you write the letters, you stick them in the mail, and the software will help you remember the next time that you have to send the letters off. So definitely work on getting those letters sent out because if you got a 569, you're gonna need to get those scores up. Okay, I want you to get those scores up from 569. We don't want your scores there because you're not gonna get a lot. You're not gonna get hardly any funding with with the score that low. So do me a favor, get on that software, keep following my channel. Gloria and I get on here all the time and we do videos about funding. We do a few with credit repair because for the most part, credit repair is pretty cut and dry. You got to send your letters out, you got to keep doing it. But what we like to do is get with business owners who's worked on their credit report. So you say you got one charge off. What's up, Tony? Hey, Tony Hood, how you doing? You say you got one charge off 6 years on your report. So I'm gonna tell you right now, if you got one charge off, you need to pay them folks. Okay? It's like when people got one charge off, I may be the worst person to talk to, but I'm gonna need you to pay them folks, okay? Because what you're gonna realize is you're wasting time. I would not let something stay on my credit for 6 years. That's way too long. Way too long. 5 years is a long time to have something sitting on your credit report and holding you back for funding. So do me a favor, balance is zero. Okay, if the balance is zero, then dispute it so it'll come off. That's not a big deal. Dispute that with that software so you can get it off. I would be disputing every month if I had to. And so, like I said, the people that got 700s, if you want to jump on that call, let's go, guys. Let's go. If you want a 700, let's get going. I want y'all to really, enjoy life and make sure that you're starting your business, you're getting the funding that you need. Because like I did the United States Senate Federal Credit Union, they give out car loans up to $150,000. Now you can use that for a personal loan, or you can use that for a business loan to buy a vehicle. And if you guys are ready to raise your credit scores, jump on that luxury credit hacks. If you guys got a 700, 800 credit score and you're ready to raise capital, I need you to book that call. I'm inviting you personally to a Zoom business strategy call where we go over your credit, we go over your credit report, your business, and we see what's best for you to actually raise capital. So, I want you guys excited about raising capital, and I want you in a position where you can raise that capital and you can actually use your credit to fund your dreams. If you guys like that, if you like using your credit to fund your dreams, do me a favor and put flames in the chat, guys. Do me a favor and drop some flames in the chat because I want you guys ready to raise as much capital as you possibly can so that you can fund your dreams. You'll be surprised how much capital you can raise, okay? And I want to thank everybody for coming out. Thank you guys for being on live. Watch some of those videos. We got another video coming out Thursday about the United States Senate Federal Credit Union. And I want you guys to have a ball and thank you for everything. Good night.